still hadn't found him, I'll tell you that, but, you know, hopefully here in the next game or two, everything will, you know, come to light. You know, at the same time, a lot of them wasn't given a whole lot of chances, so we need to give them a few more chances, and then I think we'll figure out who that guy is.
Yes, one of those receivers was Ricardo, and you definitely shoot him out on one play in particular.
I did.
Yeah.
Shoot a lot of people out.
Yeah. Looked like the cameras caught you having quite a moment with him.
Yeah.
But he obviously had a rough game. When you look back at the film, him in particular, just were those struggles as bad as you initially thought?
Well, you know, there was a lot of things that were really close, and hey, we have high expectations for our guys, and he is a playmaker, and he will be a playmaker for, you know, for us this year, and I have no doubt that he'll improve, and a lot of them will.
Gus, Ellis mentioned that you helped out with some of their film work and studying Arkansas State, obviously, you know, have that connection there. How much have you actually done, and what have you done as far as defensive scheme?
Are you talking about Arkansas State?
Yeah.
You know the personnel. That's really the main thing. You know that they've got Brian Harsin as their head coach, and he's a great offensive coordinator. He's at Texas and Boise State, and so really, you know, we don't know if it's going to be a lot of theirs or a lot of, you know, what we've done in the past, or probably a little mixture. But the main thing that we're talking through is personnel.
So if you watch the tape on that, do you go back and look at the Boise, Texas offenses?
I don't, but our defensive staff will.
Gus, the way Parisi played the other night, you feel like he's a guy you got to have on the field as much as you can?
Well, I tell you what, the way he played, you definitely want your playmakers on the field. We're very proud of the way he responded, made the big pick at the end of the game that really sealed the game for us, and very proud of him.
Is there a way to play him and Garrett and not be in?
There could be, you know, there could be moving forward. We'll see what Coach Johnson wants to do.
Gus, talk about Trey had that fumble there when you guys got iced the game early. You went back to him when you got the ball back and gave it to him the rest of the time to ice it again. Talk about
Yeah, that was a big turnover. You know, that was a very critical play. As a coach, sometimes you just get a feel, and when you're trying to build a program, there's certain things that, as a coach, you just use your instincts, and you try to give a guy like that an opportunity. I know a lot about Trey. In fact, I coached him before, and he's a great competitor, and he was disappointed. I want to give him a chance to redeem himself. He did that, and I think that'll help us moving forward as we go.
Chris Davis seems a little bit, he's fearless back there returning punts. It's good to see that.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of the way he handled himself back there, and he's got some playmaking ability. Once he catches the ball, made something really out of nothing there, got some positive yards, and that was a bright spot. And I think that area will even improve as the season goes on.
This week when you guys practice, is it going to be a point of emphasis, short yardage, conversions, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2?
Yeah, there's no doubt. That was one of the more discouraging things the whole night, and we're going to improve in that area, and that wasn't good.
Gus, with Nick, a lot of his throws were overthrows. Is that jitters? Is that just teams trying to force it? Didn't look like he had a lot of touch on some of those shorter passes as well.
Yeah, you know, I think probably a little bit of all the above. You know, he's got a great arm. I think you saw that. The first one they actually had us covered, and I think he was just throwing the ball away. It may look like he overthrew, but he's really throwing the ball away. I thought that was a good play, you know, at the time. And you know, the one to Ricardo was very close. I mean, it's within a couple inches there, and but he throws a deep ball extremely well. And I think the more that he does it, the better he'll get. And you know, the intermediate passes and all that, with the touch and all that'll come as we go too.
What were his decision making? Was he making the right decisions even though they may not have panned out?
The majority of the time, I feel like he was. There was a few times that his eyes wandered in other places it shouldn't, but they're correctable.
If Garrett does come back, do you expect him to be Robinson's backup just for the time being, or how do you see that?
Well, Coach Johnson will decide that, and you know, I think he's got a good plan with both those guys.
Gus, when Jeff Whitaker, is he a guy that if he's not been able to come back fairly soon, might consider redshirting if he hasn't been?
You know, we're going to see where we're at with Jeff each week, and you know, hopefully we can get him back sooner rather than later. But if that does happen, we'll have that conversation. We've not had that conversation yet. Jeff is a leader in our team, if not the leader, and he's very important to us, you know, as a whole.
Gus, how much do you still ever keep in contact with any of the players on Arkansas State, or has there been a pretty kind of clean break?
No, I've talked to, a few of them. Obviously this week, we won't after the game and all that, but got a lot of respect for them. Great kids, a lot of winners over there.
Yes, does your signaling system or play calling or anything from the sideline get altered or changed when you're playing in front of who's obviously so familiar with you?
Well, the unique thing is that we've done this before. When Rhett was at Sanford, you gotta think ahead when you're playing somebody and all that. You've gotta keep the integrity, of your system and your communication system, but, that's always something you're aware of when you got somebody that used to work with you. And, so we thought through that.
Guys, you described the offensive execution average at best after the game. What do you feel like it has to do against Arkansas State to improve?
Well, we got to execute, and average at best. I said that after the game, is that right? Yeah, it was below average. Now that I watched the film, but like I said, they're correctable, and we got to execute. We got to do what we're supposed to do, and it takes all 11, and that's not easy. But it's not easy to win either. So that's what we got to do.
Time for a few more.
When it gets to the offensive execution, obviously everybody, the fans in particular, look at the quarterback. Is that where you turn to first when you say it's below average? Is that where it
Here's the thing about a quarterback is they usually get too much credit and they usually get too much blame. And in our offense, that holds true just about every week. And the people around them have to be in the right spot and execute. It all works together. And so, it's a whole.
Coach, you talk about the running backs real quick and just kind of what each one brings. I know it's something different. We saw with Corey's speed and more power from Cameron.
Those three guys are very unique. Cameron Payne is a big guy, but he's got some explosiveness to him too. Trey Mason's got a little bit of both. He can run inside and he can have speed, and then Corey can run. Corey's gotten stronger.
Gus, one real quick about the Wildcat using Cam back there. What's your thoughts for that?
Well, he's a big, strong back, and he can find ways to get yards maybe when everything's not perfect. And the Wildcat's pretty unique because you put a guy back there and there's a good chance you're going to run it, and he's got some playmaking ability.
All right, Coach. Thank you.